Look good for Bobby Knight's team. Deon Thomas with a monster block. Illinois was after the early lead. Knight calming his troops down, chatting with Damon Bailey. You know what to do, Damon. And he responds. 22 points, 12 for 12 from the line. More Indiana. Leary the drive, the dish to Allen Henderson. Indiana up by 19. Illinois coming back using the three. Michael bombing away, but too much. Henderson slamming the door, and the Hoosiers hang on 82-77. Illinois' slow death coming on the foul line as they made just 8 of 20 after the Hoosiers extended the nation's longest home winning streak to 43 games. Bobby Knight defended his decision to sit his least for a while. Steve Edwards, Torrey McCormick, it's bedlam on the Hurricane bench. They were up by 7 with 10 minutes to go. Why not? Jim Boeheim turns to the big guns late. Adrian Autry, the floater, 14 for AA. Final minute, Miami up by 2. Autry, the dish to Lawrence Moten, 2 of his 18. And with the free throw, SU was up by 1, then by 2, and then one last chance to tie for Miami. It didn't fall by Steve Frazier. The second straight Orange escape. Their 12th straight 20-win season. Only North Carolina has had more with 24. From Miami, 0-17 in the Big East. On Saturday, the Canes can avoid a Big East shutout with a victory over Villanova. Nova happens to be the last Big East team to lose to my history.
Mr. Popular, Baylor, Nelson Haggerty. Chance to win in regulation. No, we're going to overtime. Nelson Haggerty, chance at redemption. The J in the air. It's good. Ties the game at 8. We go to double overtime. Baroni nervous, hiking up the pants. Doug Brandt fights for 2 inside. Up off glass. It's good. Baylor gets the W in double overtime. So Texas A&M now has lost 2 in a row, including an upset to MSU. The Aggies 10-3 in conference. Baylor's Nelson Haggerty added 12 assists. Let's roll some more scores.
Night at LSU, a festive atmosphere. The seniors responded. Andre Owens to Lenari Burns. Tigers off and running, looking good early. Another senior, Sean Gibson, the steal, and then finishing the play. Tigers led by 7 at the half. In the second, Corey Beck going to work in the paint. He had 10. Hogs chipping away at LSU's lead. Arkansas down by 3 late in the game. Al Dillard's 3. We're on to OT, 16 for Dillard. In OT, Clarence Caesar getting inside, past the Croutons. He had 33. LSU led by 2, but Scotty Thurman was the man. 3 of his 27, that was the game winner. LSU, though, had one last shot. Jamie Brandon, nice try, but no. Arkansas holding on barely, 108-105. Scotty Thurman's 27, helping the Hogs to a share of the SEC regular season title and the Western Division title outright. LSU has now lost 7 straight games against Florida in the first half. No big deal. They came back from 31 against LSU. Travis Ford, the 3. He had 4 for the game. It gave Kentucky its first lead of the game. Less than 5 minutes to go. Tony Delk, the steal, out to Ford. Here comes Roderick Rhodes. Behind the back lay-in. Kentucky by 3. Seconds left. Gators have a last chance to tie. Dan Cross, the SEC's best 3-shooter. No. Gators shot just 29% in the second half. Maybe that's why they lost 80-77. Kentucky taking over the top spot in the SEC East. Saturday, the Cats visit South Carolina. Florida hosts Tennessee.
They haven't played in 8 days. Ray Jackson and the team rusty off his foot. Then Michael Finley misses. Dugan Fife off his knee. Steve Fisher's club couldn't get on track. Wisconsin could. On the break, Tracy Webster, Michael Finley, who had 20. Wisconsin by 5 at the break. Second half, Michigan tries to come back. Jalen Rose, offensive foul. No, they count it. And the hoop. Michigan crept to within 1. But Andy Kilbride, the big 3-pointer to put Wisconsin up 4. They win it. Stu Jackson gets a huge win as the Badgers snap a 4-game skid. The Wolverines shot just 36%, the Badgers 54%. Michigan coach Steve Fisher said Wisconsin deserves to be in the NCAA tournament. Duke, Maryland, Coach K upset, but he hoped his team wouldn't be. Grant Hill doing it all. A young Dr. J. Is that a Virginia Squire uniform? Then it's Jeff Capel, the offering to Hill, who had 19 points. Maryland stuck around. Dwayne Simpkins hooping the foul. Too much Duke. Chris Collins, dish, Antonio Lang. Duke wins it. Grant Hill scores 11 of Duke's final 21 points. Joe Smith scores 16 with 13 boards and 6 blocks. Maryland has not beaten Duke since January of 1988. UNC Wake Forest, Montross, rejected by Tim Duncan. More Deacons. Travis Banks misses the J, but you got to block him out. Dean Smith making like Rodin's the thinker. Wake by 15 at the half. Freak play. Randolph Childress pops his shoulder. He'd leave the game, but would come back. Carolina cut the lead to 2. Donald Williams, no good. Wake holds on. So Carolina losing and Duke winning. The Blue Devils clinch the ACC regular season title. It's Wake's third upset of a top 5 team this year. The Heels had their worst.
The second straight Ivy League title as well. Second half, Penn's Matt Maloney taking over. Put up Penn by 3. Pete Carrill looking for a traveling. We can only hope that's what he was doing. Quakers calling on Maloney down the stretch. Maloney scored the Quakers' final 9 points. He had 24 for the game, and let the celebration begin. The Quakers are going dancing as Penn beats Princeton by 10. Penn capturing its 15th Ivy League title. The difference for the Quakers, their defense forcing Princeton into 21 turnovers. This in Manhattan, K-State looked good early. They took the lead. Gerald Cunningham beating Marlo Finner inside, and he gets the foul. But the Tigers come back. Kelly Thames pulling up from 3 and hits. Missouri up by 5 at the break. Kansas State making their run in the second. Belvis Nolan picks it up, but then what does he do? He throws it away. That'll make a coach sick. And then Javon Crudup makes it happen. 19 points for him. Missouri wins at 68-57. Big game for Crudup. His 4th double-double in 5 games. Missouri can put the finishing touches on perfection Saturday at home against a dangerous Nebraska team. Now, if the Tigers come away with a win against Nebraska, they'd finish the Big 8 without a blemish, just like the Jayhawks did the year the Rolling Stones hit #1 with Brown Sugar. North Carolina was perfect in conference back in '87, the year Craig was kicking up his heels to Dirty Dancing. Oklahoma State at Nebraska. Nebraska's way of welcoming Bryant Reeves. That's precious. Early first half, who do they go to? Big Country, Mr. Reeves. He had 27, 11 boards. The Knights, who say Danny Nee, we're not worried. Check out the dishing lesson. Boone to Eric Piatsky to Jamar Johnson, and then Terrence Badgett. Make it happen. Nebraska leading by 6. Later in the second, Cornhuskers keeping up the fast pace. Johnson, the no-look, over the head pass to Boone. That's got to make plays of the week if I have a say, and I don't. Nebraska with a big win at home, 89-81. Eric Piatsky helped make it happen. Piatkowski, rather. 32 points, 7 boards. The Cowboys lose despite hitting on 13 three-pointers. The Cardinals in Southern Miss, big game for Mrs. Glenn Wisby, beating Cliff Rozier inside. Wisby going down hard, Rozier with a foul. Cardinals led by 5 at the half. Second half, you got to follow this. It's wild. Rozier with a miss. Bernard Haslett saves the ball. Maurice Morris saves it to Jason Osborne, who finds who else? Cliff Rozier. It's good. He gets the call. Louisville wins 82-75. Rozier scored 19. He hit the 1,000-point plateau, the 3rd Cardinal to reach that milestone in just 2 years. Greg Minor, who Coach Denny Crum calls his most consistent player, chipped in with 22. In the A-10, fringe team Duquesne at UMass. Banner time for UMass. UMass looked good early. Nice passing here. Dante Bright. He had 18 points, 11 boards. Ephraim, don't call me Pimple Whitehead, the big play over Camby, 22 points for Whitehead. UMass, though, too strong. Camby, the miss, gets his own board. How many times can he get his own board? About 3, but then Dana Dingle takes care of things with a putback. UMass ends up winning this one by 14, putting the wraps on the regular season finale. Dante Bright helping seal it with 10 points from the line in the last 2 minutes. Lou Rowe with 27. Craig?
Oklahoma Colorado Sooners bring out the big guns in this must-win, and the big gun was named Calvin Curry, and Curry was spicy hot. The NBA 3 and another. Curry, 10 threes, 32 points, but it wasn't enough. The inbounds, Kenneth Conley puts it in. Oklahoma wins 92-84. Puts on a dunking clinic. Mike Harris, D'Antonio Wingfield for the big slam. Cincy by 4 at the break. More of the dunking clinic, D'Antonio. Then Damon Flint. And then the double clutch for Flint. You can smile, Bob. You win it. Georgia Tech, Florida State, James Collins. Staying on the dunking theme. You never get enough dunks, do you? Reverse! Georgia Tech up 1 at the half. Nice Tech passing. Yen Barbie, Travis Best, Martise Moore, trying to read the writing here. And watch the pretty move by James Collins off glass. SFU wins it by 3. Rhode Island beats another team on the B word, GW, as we check more scores of B word teams. Jason Kidd needed only 4 assists to break the Pac-10 single-season record, and there it is to Jones, 248 for the season. Then Kidd, the steal, to McQueen, to Lamont Murley, the trailer. Lamont scored 26. Todd Bozeman squad up at the break. Jordy Lydon, the offensive tip. Oregon got close, but Kidd and Monty Buckley teamed up for the icing. Bears by 9, they win it. Jason Kidd had 5 assists and breaks the Pac-10's all-time single-season scoring assist record. He now has 249. He breaks Arizona's Russell Brown. He had the old mark with 247. Arizona off the Husky turnover. Reggie Geary with the underhand alley-oop to Reyes. And then it's Khalid Reeves. Driving, dishing to O's, who had a career-high 25. More great passing, Damon Stoudemire. To O's for the easy jam. Trent Cornelius. His pass intercepted by Geary, who gives it to Reeves, who goes glass. Arizona avenges their earlier upset by actually spanking the Huskies 95-62. Reeves scored 28. Washington turned the ball over 30 times. Stoudemire scored just 3 points, but had 11.
High five if we can get Gene Kay to the Cracker smile. Glenn Dog to steal the hoop, part of an early 18-2 run. And then Glenn, the big dog, what happens? You get the big bounce. He had 20 in the first half. And then says, get that shot out of my neighborhood. All right, Gene. There's a high five, Gene. Smile, Craig. Okay. Robinson's 15th, double-double of the season. Konzo adds 20. Matt Waddell, a double-double of his own. 12 points, 10 assists. Sean Pearson steps in front, steals the ball, and he goes in to dunk at the other end. This part of an 18-6 run. The other senior, Greg Ostertag. The big-time block. Get it out of here. He breaks Danny Manning's school record with 74 blocks in his career. Steve Woodbury, 15 points, and the steal. The dump down to Scott Pollard, who finishes with the flush. Kansas cruises. Scott adds 24. That's Richard, a career high. Win number 106 for the seniors. Jacques Vaughn, a freshman. 138 assists, most ever by a KU Frosh. Williams said every senior night is special, but this was the most. New Mexico by 3. Greg Brown, you never foul him behind the line. Roger Reed can't believe it. Brown with a chance to tie. He's got 3 free throws. This the third. We go to overtime. He scored 34. Kurt Christensen to take the lead goes up short. They had a foul on the follow-up. Lobos go on to win it by 2. They would hit another free throw. That's where they get the 2-point advantage. With the win, New Mexico winning its first regular season WAC title since '78. Remember the Lobos.
Brent Sechrist, the putback to put Middle Tennessee up 2, but Tim Horton isn't done. Takes the inbounds pass. The buzzer's going to sound. The shot's in the air. Count it. 1-point win for Tennessee State. Horton scores 14. It was first-round action of the Ohio Valley Conference tourney. Horton scores 14. Carlos Rogers scores 20 with 14 boards. Let's check more scores from conference tournaments. At the Sports Arena against USC, Rambling excited. Stace Bozeman the steal. Bert Harris takes it in for the deuce. Trojans up 8 at the half. Bruins turn the ball over. Harris takes the sloppy handoff, puts it up and in. Watch this. Tremaine Ankrum falls on the knee of Charles O'Bannon, bruised right patella. He did not return, will be examined on Friday. Brother Ed with the hard foul on Bozeman, tempers flare. O'Bannon and Mark Boyd exchange words. Ankrum jumps in, O'Bannon ejected. UCLA goes on to beat the frustrated Bruins 85-79. Brandon Martin, 19 points for the Trojans.